All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. Bean Talk episode 37 is here. The setup is a little wonky. We had a little issue with our studio time at Titan Radio, but we're still getting our episode out regardless. Christian, like we said, it was probably, one of the best slates of games that we had this week. There's
Yeah.
so much to talk about, so much that we can get into right now. I don't know, hey, let's just kick off another episode of Bean Talk, man.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the big things, honestly, we've probably been saying this is the Ravens. They're finally cooking up. They're finally bringing a spot here there too. Yeah, they went up against the Browns, but we're forgetting this is still a very good Browns defense that still keeps them in the games there too. And we'll touch upon the Browns after this one as well. But we're looking at the Ravens. They definitely are making a run in the NFC North now. You're just looking at these standings here. The Steelers are back up to 6-4,
Yeah.
right? The Ravens are 5-5 behind the Steelers, one game just behind the Steelers. So that already shows another big advantage. That maybe having Lamar Jackson back there was a very great idea, and that started to pro right back up 500 after being 1-5. Yeah, 1-5. So winning four straight right now is a very good sign for the Steelers team, and it's not looking good for for not Steelers. I'm sorry, for the Ravens. It's gonna look bad on the Steelers. Now they're actually gonna have to, put gas and actually start locking in and cooking because slow games like this, and we saw a slow game like the Packers is not gonna help them in the long run,
Exactly.
especially with how hot the Ravens team is looking. And yes, it was the Browns, but we cannot forget this is still a very great Browns defense, and they were able to pull away with the win. They were down, right? So Dylan Gabriel coming out with Shador coming in, which we'll talk about in a bit right now as well. But that obviously was the game changer, and the fake tush push from Mark Andrews was
Yeah.
obviously one of the best, a pretty great play I've seen in a minute. But yeah, this Ravens team is actually looking pretty. I won't say scary yet. I want to see what they can be able to do in the next couple games, especially because yes, there was still one game behind the Steelers. Their next games, right? They got the Jets. They're probably gonna get that, and the Bengals, right? But this Bengals game, it is a division game, and we know how the division
Yeah,
games
but
can get as from we see.
realistically, I know they all matter, and that's the important thing. But
Yeah,
after that specific game that you just mentioned, it's arguably one of the two biggest games of the season for both these teams when they play each other. The first one, the Week
after the
18 one's
Bengals
going to
game,
be
yeah.
crazy when it comes down to that. But
Right after they got three back-to-back division games: Bengals, Steelers, and then Bengals again.
but all things considered, this December 7th game in Baltimore is going to really be the big swing of things. And this is kind
Yeah.
of the point where the Steelers really start to, we looked at it. It's December where that really gets to Pittsburgh. We saw that 11-0 start. They play Washington and Cincinnati, and they get killed and lose all that playoff momentum. You see last season, all the surprise. Sure, that was the Justin Fields start, and then Wilson slowly, up and down, up and down. But it's in December we see what they really do. It's around Christmas season. That Christmas game was when we really saw, okay, the Steelers really are pretenders, and sure they end up getting that 6 seed and get walloped by the Ravens in the playoffs. And this is gonna kickstart that specific point where I'm pretty much expecting the Ravens to end up, really turning the table and after an unbelievable 1-5 start to end up arguably, probably looking like the front runners to win the North. This game's gonna tell us everything. I'm expecting them to come away with that game, but
Mhm.
the Steelers have a chance to make a statement in that one. And so Rodgers is out right now. We'll wait and see. There is still a chance he plays the Bears, and that's something we can get into too. The scenario of Rodgers heading back to Soldier Field and once again with a new team. That again, we'll get into that. But I mean, everything's coming down to this week 14 game again with these two teams playing each other.
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously, it's honestly gonna be a crazier thing to start, especially now we're looking at the trajectory of the Bears. Like we mentioned in the recap, well, what I brought up
Top of
to,
the North, man.
I did not expect them to be on top of the North. And look, now they're hosting the Steelers, which is I believe they're hosting the Steelers, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
mistaken.
Rodgers
Oh
returning
yeah,
to Soldier Field,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, like you said, we're just returning to Soldier Field.
If he
That's gonna be
plays,
another
we'll
game.
still wait and see
Yeah,
if it.
and
Yeah,
like we said, there's gonna be a lot of two implications in this game specifically for the division, right? You got the Steelers on top of the North at 6-4, just one game ahead of the Ravens, right? The Ravens being a hot start, and you look at the Bears, they're on top of the North right now, one game literally above the Packers as well. And we've been seeing the Packers They've already been on fraud watch. We saw how they played against the Giants. It was a really rough showing for Jordan Love and that whole team in general, not being able to get it done. You're looking at as a team like this that's supposed to be dominant, which I was glazing about that since they traded for Micah, and that's obviously starting not to show there too. So this game is going to be really one to look at because they're both on top of their divisions, but only one game ahead of the second place. So that's really going to be a big one to see. The storyline with the Rodgers returning back to Soldier Field. I mean, like we said, right? Good things do come to an end, but something about Rodgers, him owning the Bears, I think this is gonna be one where, it's probably not gonna, I would say it's probably not gonna be the most case scenario. Rodgers owns the Bears. I mean, pretty much he owned the whole North for his whole time in Green Bay, but specifically with the Bears, it doesn't matter how bad Rodgers is. If he's on one leg, he just lost a kidney, he has two broken arms, he's probably still going to find a way to kill the Bears, and that's exactly what's probably going to happen here. But I still want to underestimate the Bears, especially
No,
how Caleb Williams
I'm
has
not
been balling.
underestimating the Bears, and
Yeah,
I mean right now,
and it's been
look,
Caleb Williams. He has been the reason too. He's
this
finally been playing the quarterback that they expected him to play since they drafted him last season.
yeah, look, this game is probably like the epitome of a toss-up going into this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it down to the wire. I'm sure you are too, until Saturday morning to see who we pick in this game. But I mean, look, man, this isn't gonna be one of those old Rodgers owns the Bears that's all it, old school discount double check Rodgers.
Hmm.
This is gonna it's a new age Bears. You gotta face it. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Ben Johnson has just completely changed this team. Like you said, Caleb's just playing a phenomenal game right now. I'm personally leaning Bears right now. I mean, we saw the defensive performance they put out against,
Yeah.
yes, a struggling JJ McCarthy, but
Hmm.
I mean, look, man, I mean, if that defense is on point, they carry that momentum over. It's a home game. You're gonna have that crowd on your side. That Steelers offense isn't looking too hot recently. I mean, it all depends if they can get DK going. In all honesty, I mean, you got Darnell Washington, who he's probably been that bright spot for the most part. He's been, the revelation in the receiving game as the tight end. The run game is gonna have to pick it up. With Chicago having a pretty stout run defense, so it's more on what the Steelers can step up because at this point in time, as much of a toss up as it is, I'm kind of leaning Chicago.
Yeah, and when you're speaking defense, Jalen Ramsey, I believe this is his one game suspension is going to be against the Bears, if
He
I'm
got
not mistaken.
suspended
Yeah,
for that?
I think Jalen Ramsey ended up,
Was it?
I came to just fact
That's
check. Oh no, sorry, no,
no,
I'm
yeah, it
so
was just
sorry. Yeah,
Jamar
it
that got
was just Jamar.
suspended.
Yeah, never mind. I thought Ramsey also got when I saw, but yeah, it was just Ramsey. So never mind. So Jalen
Don't
Ramsey is gonna
don't diss
stay.
my
So
goat like that, bro.
yeah, I thought now it's gonna be even better, right? We're gonna see a Dunze, most likely Roma Dunze against Jalen
And
Ramsey.
actually, no,
I
and actually,
and I
we
think that's
won't
gonna be
because
that's gonna be the
that's
difference.
something we haven't talked about. His change to safety that just been crazy
That's right.
to this defense. Forget the specific guy. He's a second year corner that with Jalen being open to moving to safety was gave the opportunity for him to be that top corner opportunity. And if you want to look that up or if I'll look it up right now, but I mean, yeah, the revelation he's been to move into the safety position as that obviously he's been a Pro Bowl all pro level corner to still be able to hover around that switch over when he needs to. That's been the one bright spot in this defense coming into this point. Like now they've actually stepped it up and they're looking like the Steelers defense of old. But Jalen Ramsey being able to be that anchor in the secondary, take both positions whenever he needs. I mean, that's going to be the one thing that I'm curious to see how Caleb is going to be able to handle that. I mean, like you said, if I mean we are still going to get that Odunze challenge. See if Luther Burden's going to get it. Someone's going to get in, get to challenge Jalen Ramsey. I'm just excited to see how Ben Johnson schemes around this.
Yeah, it's really going to be whose offense is going to be able to get going first because these are still two pretty great defenses, and that's going to be the time we've been seeing about great defenses going against each other. It's going to be which offense is going to be able to score first and be more consistent, and that's going to be between Rodgers or Caleb, and who's going to be the one benefactor to get into that. But let's keep it in the north. That what I did want to mention is Shador. He's finally going to get the start. He's going to go against the Raiders, a team that we thought was going to draft him. But now we're going to see if he's going to seek this revenge. Now, obviously, like we mentioned, it's not going to be, it's not, it doesn't matter at this point for the Browns. You're letting him start, Dylan Gabriel still being on concussion protocol. Honestly, just let him ride out the season to see what Shador has to offer. I mean, he's got the Raiders next, right? That I mean, sure, yeah, it's gonna be a battle of pretty poop right there, right? Then he's got the Niners, Titans, Bears,
Mm, oh
Bills,
my
Steelers,
God.
and then Bengals. So he's ending the season. Well, if he ends up rolling out the whole season, two division games
But at that
in
point, it's hard to
December.
really say, oh, let
Yeah.
him write it out. Because, I mean, once Gabriel's out of concussion protocol, realistically, I
Mhm.
mean, he's your third round
But that's
rookie.
good. That's gonna depend. That's gonna depend if Shador ends up
But
if he
is
does
he?
end
I
up
mean,
playing
okay,
well.
look, hey, I'm hoping for the best for him. But at the same time,
Hmm.
it's a guy you drafted in the third round and a guy you drafted in the fifth round. I mean, I've been saying this, it's bad business if you're gonna, just up and go go put the other guy over. We saw
It's
that
been
back
bad
in.
business for the Browns for the past I don't know how many years. I
But
mean,
we'll see. I mean, look, I know they're no strangers to bad business, but I mean,
exactly.
if they can have the opportunity to see, I mean, look, they tried out Gabriel from the start, since like what, week 5-ish, around that point. If Gabriel's back and ready, don't be surprised for him to assume that role right back. We might see some flash from Shador because realistically, I mean, this is like a match made in heaven for him, and let's
I
let's
mean, a
hope
bottom defense, a bottom. I believe
let's
Raiders
hope
are not exactly where they're at,
this
but
actually happens. Not like Jackson Dart, who cooked the great Chargers defense and then got
yeah,
smothered by an atrocious Saints defense. I mean,
Saints.
we'll see what ends up coming from this, but look, I don't know, man. Honestly, I was leaning 100% Cleveland until now. You're reminding me that Shador's starting in this. I want to see bro succeed. I really do, but I don't know the first flashes you get, and I know you're comparing the Ravens defense to the Raiders. But I don't know. This is gonna be the epitome of a battle of ass, man.
Hey, it's still gonna be content. I'm still gonna tune
Oh,
in.
absolutely. And
It'll
see
be
that, and
funny.
that's
It's gonna be
the one thing.
funny.
See,
You
you
never
got
know. It would be like a Shador masterclass, and then as soon as he plays the next game, which I mentioned was the
here's the thing.
where was it
Shador's
at?
gonna get
The
every
Niners.
opportunity to
Then he's
win
gonna
this
get
game.
smothered. Yes,
He's
he
gonna get every
is.
opportunity
The
for this just
defense
because
is
you
gonna
consider
the
you
defense too
consider
is gonna hold that offense.
Gino against that defense. Obviously Gino's not going to get anything going. If anything, the Browns are going to outscore this game. And the Browns defense is going to be the leading
Hmm.
scorer in this game. Arguably, even their special teams. We'll wait and see that. But you're already going to be playing from a lead, most likely. It's up to Shador to show those flashes against, let's be honest, a
Yeah.
subpar Raiders defense, unless Max Crosby becomes a game breaker in this one.
Yeah, that's obviously really what it thinks to see. But like you mentioned, it is going to be a match made in heaven for Shador. He's obviously starting at a very good position with the Raiders team with horrible offense, horrible
With a
defense,
defense that's
and
going to put him in a good position.
exactly right. But that's going to be out to see. Everything's lining up for him. This could be, not even the first test. This could be just a trial run. If he ends up having a great game against the Raiders, the real test is going to be against this Niners team. Despite all their injuries, they're still a team that is still a team with their working around with Brock Purdy back as well. That is still going to be another huge test for Shador if he ends up riding it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And guess we could throw one more thing about the North. I mean, this Joe Burrow dilemma, man. I mean, you're 3-7. There's still the Rams. I mean, maybe if you would have won this last week, you would have been 4-6. Still get that opportunity to
Hmm.
sneak your way slowly back up to a 500 record around week 12, week 13. I mean, you're coming off a major injury. There's no reason to bring him back, right?
Yeah, and especially like look, especially with the Ravens being at a hot start right now, trying to get that division, only one game away from the division. The Steelers still up there, which they're on and off, right? But this loss pretty much solidified them to just tank it out because what? This is Burrow's what second, third? This is third season-ending injury, if I'm not mistaken, second or
Well,
third
ACL
season-ending
his
injury.
rookie year.
His rookie
Second
year.
year, he actually, took him to the Super Bowl. He had the wrist
Yeah, I
a
think
couple
so.
years
Three.
ago. Yeah,
So
three season-ending
I
injuries. This
think
one
three.
could, I mean, this one arguably call it his fourth. I mean, it
Yeah.
should be season-ending, but it might not.
Well, okay, he's had multiple, he's already had multiple, let's call it that, because we can't get the faction on this one, but he's already had multiple season-ending injuries since being drafted in 2020. That's really not it's obviously it's not a good sign there too, but if he's going to be able to come back earlier than expected mid-December, there's really no point with that many season-ending injuries. Just let him rehabilitate just a little longer, preparing for next season, and actually maybe maybe here's a great idea. Maybe build him an O-line. Maybe build him a defense. Maybe build him a team that he took to the Super Bowl exactly like that. That's exactly what they need. Maybe defense should be priority, but it's the quarterback and it's Burrow. He already had multiple season injuries. Please, please, for the love of God, build him an O-line. If he, this is not going to be a Ravens situation where Lamar's going to come back and it's going to be a Cinderella run and they're going to make a run for the division. This is not the case at this point, right? Because, Lamar, yes, he's had injuries in the past, but it wasn't, as to the point where Burrow has had them already. So I really see no point of him starting for the Bengals when he returns. Let him rest for the remainder of the season because I really see him no shot. I don't see this at all for him to come back as a smart decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly. I mean, you talk about bad business. I mean, that's putting his career in jeopardy at that
Yeah.
point. So, I
I
mean,
meis
look,
career's
you already
already in
know
jeopardy. His
this.
career's already in jeopardy with
Even
all those
if he was
injuries.
playing,
We don't even know if he's gonna be the same quarterback after this injury.
but
Like
here's the
like
thing.
he's done it with
Even if he
multiple.
comes back,
Could this be the last straw?
no, even if he comes back and or like whatever, see how the injury fares in the future, whatever. But even he comes back and plays at an MVP level, it's not gonna matter. You got a bottom three defense that gives
Hmm.
up 50 points a game. I mean, it doesn't matter if you score 40, you're still gonna lose. We saw that against the Bears. So there's
We saw that last season. He was
we
putting
see
up
that.
MVP
Well, actually,
numbers.
no.
No,
Last
last
week, props
season.
to them.
I'm
They
talking about last
actually
season.
last season, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about last season. We saw he's putting up MVP numbers, and the Bengals were losing by a
Missed the
couple of points
playoffs.
because of that defense. No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah, missed
yeah.
the playoffs.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think correct me. I don't know. I had a
No,
brain
no,
fart.
no, no,
So,
no. Yeah,
but
just
yeah,
throwing
but
it
yeah.
in.
We saw what Burrow did, putting up those numbers. The Bengals barely losing by a couple points, almost every game, and then missing the playoffs. If he's managed to make that wild card, the MVP should have gone to him. But obviously, didn't make the playoffs, and everybody now in the MVP combos is going to go off playoff success, and that's the unfortunate part about it. And now we see the even too with Dak. The first couple of weeks, he was putting up MVP numbers, and the defense was selling him, and that's gonna happen. Unfortunately, that's exactly what's happened to Burrow last year. You can have such a great offense, but if you have a pretty crappy defense, that's the result you're gonna get. So please, 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 Zach Taylor, please make a good coaching decision this time, and when he's healthy, keep him out and save him for next
I
season
mean,
and rebuild for him, please.
that's a big ask from Zach Taylor, realistic. But I mean,
It's easier said than done, but
it's one of the
it'll
easiest
be
things to ask of him.
it'll be the
Is
smartest business decision for the
exactly.
Bengals to do. But
And
we
like
already know what happens
I
with
know
this
Joe's
type
a
of stuff.
competitor. I know he's gonna
Yeah.
want to stick this out, but I mean, also you got to go into business for yourself, and you got to think
Hmm.
about the future. I mean, I hope the Bengals make the right decision, but I mean, we went very north heavy in this opening segment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this over, head down south, head a little west. I mean, let's revisit back in 2022. We had just started this channel and like a blockbuster of a deal with the Panthers and the Niners to send McCaffrey over to the Bay. We get to see a little bit of a revenge game for CMC and just revisit that. I mean, I remember the Rams were in the sweepstakes for McCaffrey, didn't end up happening, but I mean, what a revelation CMC has been for the Niners, right?
Yeah, dude threat on the ground in the pass attack without the injuries. He pretty much had to do all the
He's been
work
a
for him,
leading
right?
receiver in this team
Yeah,
at
he
times.
has been the leading receiver and the leading rusher, obviously, right? But to be the leading receiver as well, excuse me, you kind of expected it, right? With Ayuk, with Jennings, with everybody there who has had injuries, then coming back with Kittle having to deal with some injuries. He's being a dual threat. Obviously, we've talked about this. Probably not going to catch up to JT in the Offensive Player of the Year
Oh,
conversation, but
yeah.
it is definitely a really great sign for the Niners that, he still got it in him, even with the injuries, because that's what McCaffrey was labeled. He was labeled as glass bones because he was always injured. And at
Let's
first,
not
this
forget,
Niners,
I
the
mean, the types of teams Carolina was giving him back then.
yeah, exactly. And we saw with the Niners when they traded for him, everyone was calling it a bad trade. I'm not gonna lie. I was part of that people just because of his injury prone and not being able to stay healthy. And we saw what he did last season, and we see what he's doing this season when he came back from injury. Obviously, it's not slowing him down. He has to be a dual threat on both parts of the ball
Yeah, of
on the
course.
receiving end. And for the most part, it was working out, right? But the injuries, it caught up to them, and that's the unfortunate part
I
about it.
mean,
But he's
injuries
been
catching up to
doing
them is an
everything.
understatement. I mean, injuries
Yeah,
swallowed the Niners.
exactly. And the fact that, they're still in contention
7-4.
for the West, like they're still in contention for the West, which isn't crazy to say, but I doubt they're going to run away, especially with how great the Rams have been looking.
Yeah, let alone the Rams, the Seahawks, obviously. I mean, only losing by
Yeah.
2 points after throwing 4 picks. I mean, obviously they're still always going to be in
Mhm.
games, but I mean, yeah, just I mean, it was a match made in heaven for the Niners, especially at that point. I mean, you pair him with one of the greatest O lines, and I mean, look, I know they got Rico and Chuba still has his great times, but what a team this would be in Carolina if they still had McCaffrey. I mean, Lord knows they didn't do much with those first round picks. So if you would have kept them, I mean, you're starting to build something little by little in Carolina. I mean, Dave Canales' offense and Bryce, he's not there yet, but he's slowly getting there. I mean, hey, the Panthers are 6-5. They're above 500 heading into week 12. That's something we haven't been able to talk about since the Cam Newton days. And, there's still that outside shot to win the South and get into the playoffs, considering the Buccaneers falling off recently.
Yeah, and that's another sign, those injuries have been really catching up to it. And not even that, I think just like now the opponents they've been facing have been some top opponents for the most part. And I think that's
That,
where
yeah.
they really can't keep up with that. And
I
especially now
mean,
you're
think
looking at the
about,
South, it is wide open.
yeah.
Way, way wide open for this Panthers team. But obviously, somehow Baker's gonna find his magic to get that going,
Yeah, but
but
just I
it's
mean,
definitely not left
specifically
now.
looking at the Bucks schedule. I mean, this 3 game stretch they're on just now. I mean, you
Hmm.
lose a heartbreaker to the Patriots. You lose to the Bills recently. It wasn't a great performance, but again, a great team. And I guess Sunday Night Football at SoFi. I mean, it's pretty hard to find a tougher 3 game stretch looking here. And they still might come out of it at the top of the division, considering it is relatively weak. But we'll wait
Hmm.
and see. But again, I mean, who would have expected the South to be this? I mean, this competitive. Let's not forget the Bucks were my sleeper to take home the NFC South. So we'll wait and see if they could prove me right. But I mean, yeah, just we're still a lot to see here. But I think I think we can head it into the mainstay of our episode. Let's get into those power rankings, Christian. Who'd you drop this week?
I dropped one team. I just dropped one.
Just one? I think I
Just
dropped
dropped one.
two.
I dropped
If I'm
one.
not
I just dropped one.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped two. Two
I
new
dropped one.
teams.
Really, I just dropped one and I just did movement to be honest after this week. It
There's
was just
a lot of
a
little
little bit.
flip-flops in here. A couple teams stayed the
Yeah.
same, but there's two
Most
new
teams say
teams,
this. Some teams say
fresh
the
new
most
teams
just
into
moved up
this.
one. Most of them moved up one. Most of them moved down two or three, and then I dropped one. So not really a lot.
All right, well, I'll start with the 10. This kicks off two newcomers into this one. Into my number 10, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, little I mean, there's some teams in here, you're a little up and down, but I mean, hey, the performance that Jacksonville just put up again against the Chargers team
Hmm.
that they've also been up and down, but at the same time, 35-6 against arguably a top defense in this league. I mean, can't say much. Trevor played a phenomenal game. The run game was on point. They're slowly, I mean, as dominant as the Colts have been in this division, Jacksonville still got that outside shot. Looking at how they've been playing.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna with this one. I got the Ravens at the 10th spot with
Okay.
this one. So new team finally moving up. Finally got the Ravens, and that game against the Browns did determine a bit. Again, really great defense from that Browns team. But they're still able to kick it off because of the injury from Dylan Gabriel. Shador getting in, not being able to get the reps that he got. But we saw the Ravens are on a rise, and right above them is the division leader. And for some reason, I missed this, so a little bit dyslexia here and there, but. I got the Steelers in this one, moved it right back up at the ninth spot. It's been inconsistent with the Steelers. They lose, I drop them. They win, I move them up. They lose again, I completely remove them. But the Steelers team, like I'm saying, right, it's gonna be the same story for the Steelers team. Yes, the defense, it's good. The offense, that's probably gonna be my issue. Is gonna be the inconsistency, and it's gonna be let up all to Rodgers and him and DK and everyone around there to really get it going. Jalen Warren as well. That's gonna be another huge factor on the ground game. For now, for the Steelers, they're gonna have to get that ground game really efficient early on with Jalen Warren.
That is not someone I would have considered, honestly, looking at this. But hey, I mean, you got second place in the North. I guess you throw first place in there too. So I mean, I'll
Yeah.
I'll go into my ninth spot again. It's new for me, but it's the surprise that you put in last week. I'm putting in the Bears. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, you put them in after some great performances. Now this
I put
defensive
him at
performance
nine.
they put out against
Yeah.
Minnesota, and like I said, I touched on it a bit. It's not a, s- a star-studded win for them to really announce themselves, but it was a great performance nonetheless. Caleb, like I said, not a great performance, but he clutched up when it mattered, and that defense, timely interceptions, Jaquan Brisker, that beautiful one-hander snatching it out of the air. I mean, can't say enough about what Ben Johnson's done here. Got to show him their props finally sneaking into that top 10. That closes out the changes. Now I got a couple teams just sliding their way up. In my eighth spot, I got the Bills. Huge win against the Buccaneers, a sliding Buccaneers team at that. But I mean, a historic game for Josh Allen. Not much more I can say there. Again, the run game, both sides of the run game. There are offense that James Cook couldn't get going, and that run defense that has been struggling as of late. Only things that you could really draw back on that I could have put them higher. But I mean, historic offensive performance, gotta keep them and move them up 2 spots.
Now, yes.
You're
Yes,
eight.
eighth spot. A little blanked out there. But now for my eighth spot, this team I had to drop 3 spots, and this is the Seahawks. And
Mm,
again, for the same reason, I
wow.
still got them up there because of their defense. The Seahawks defense, it's been legit, and everybody knows that. Like I've been saying this a lot. I didn't have high hopes for the Steelers coming into the season, but I had a lot of high hopes for their defense. I know that's one of the things you disagreed with me on was their defense, but I mean, it did show. I mean, with the performance Matthew Stafford has been playing for the past couple of weeks. I mean, they held him to 130
130.
pass yards, 130 pass yards. Still capped off 2 touchdowns
Yeah.
but those were all in the red zone. But 130 yards and then sending him to 3 straight in and outs. That's something that should be at least a little bit hopeful for the
No, yeah, of
Steel for the
course.
Se- for the Seahawks team. But like we mentioned, it's the offense and Sam Darnold not being able to capitalize off these teams above 500, these potential playoff teams, and that's what's really going to struggle. And we've seen them. We've seen this with the Dolphins. We've seen this with the Cowboys. Like 2023, they weren't able to win against teams above 500. We saw the tiebreaker that game, the Dolphins and the Cowboys. The Dolphins won that game. Finally got a win against teams above 500. Another reason for that, the Cowboys, when we beat Seattle, finally beat a team above 500, but it was a very weak team that was above 500, and that's the thing that's going to kill the Seahawks. So if they really want to make a run in the playoffs, they're gonna have to get past the Rams, right? They're gonna have to get that tiebreaker later on. I believe you guys play again in December, and then look at these
Yeah.
other teams. They're
Week
gonna have to be guys
16.
Philly, Lions. That maybe get the revenge on the Bucks. I don't even know they could get past that. That offense and Darnold, they're gonna have to lock in against these better teams. Now above that, this is where I got the Bears, right? Again, it's the same story. Kellen Williams improving, him and Rome getting involved, and the defense having a great performance against the Vikings. I mean, it's been showing, like I said, there's not really huge movement in my power rankings, rather than most teams just moving up one or two. But I mean, like they're up in the division, right? They're one game above the Packers, and I mean, who expected this from the Bears? But it's a really huge shout out to Caleb and finally him getting in his rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly. I mean, we mirror the ideas. You have them at seven, I have them at nine.
Yeah.
But so with my seven, again, another team that I just moved up 2 spots, it's the Broncos. I mean, very important win. I mean, just getting that monkey off your back, finally beating Mahomes. Beating Mahomes. I know you beat him week 18 last season, but that was against the backups, so they were resting. You finally get that critical win against the Chiefs.
Mhm.
That kind of just really rounds out what you want. And obviously, you're 9-2. That's the important thing. The Broncos are 9-2, so at that 2 spot right now in the AFC. I mean, three just depends on tiebreakers and all that with the Colts and Patriots. But I mean, they're deadly right now. They're one of the deadly teams specifically because of that defense. I know that offense does leave more to be desired at times, but I mean, defensively, this is one of the scariest teams in the league. And going up to my six. Coming off a bye, I did nothing to them. The Colts stay at the 6 spot. Can't say much about it because they didn't play, but I mean, uh, yeah, we really can't say nothing. But obviously, we know the tear that they've been on. Just, I mean, the only reason too, you can see as once we get out. I mean, I rate a lot of NFC teams a little more, but I mean, see what the Colts do as they come off the bye.
Yes, for my sixth spot, this is where I go with the Bills, and obviously this is another great performance against the Bucks. And it's Josh Allen. Like once again, now this is an example of Josh Allen, him doing it on the ground, him doing it in the air, and him getting everyone involved. Like, yeah, sure. The big issue is still with the Bills. They don't have a true one, and they already have problems going with Keon Coleman. Apparently, him missing meetings, which hurts me, man. I still want Keon Coleman, my guy, to succeed, but this is a really bad look on that receiving end for him being a healthy scratch and not being able to do that. But again, it's Josh Allen. He's doing everything for this offense, and he's been getting it done. And the Bills really doing it against the Bucks team. That it's still a good Bucks team. They're just really haven't been able to capitalize all that. And with the Patriots being 9-2, the Bills they still have the opportunity to make a run. But other than them, they're gonna hope to have the Patriots to fall off. which I doubt that's going to happen, but it's going to look a very nice battle within the AFC East. And then moving up to my five spot, I had to move him up just for the sake of this, but this is where I got the Colts, and I mean everything's self-explanatory. I mean JT, who's been having a monster season, Danny Dimes, same with him. He's been having a season getting every involved on that offensive end. Rookie Tyler Warren already having a great first year, and then the defense, right? The accusation of Sauce Gardner, that's obviously been a huge improvement to that secondary, right? But again, I want to see what they're going to be able to do against these above 500 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree too. I think the fight they gave the Rams was something to be
Yeah,
commended. But yeah, I mean, they also got that win against the Broncos in their back pocket too. So let's not forget
yeah,
that. But moving into my five spot, this is where I got the Seahawks. I'm only gonna drop them two spots. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, after only losing by two, I already said enough. After playing a tight game, after losing to turnover battle by three against the best team in football, I mean, you can't harp on them too much.
yeah.
I gave them shit for their defense. I wasn't too big on them, but I gotta eat my words. This is one of the best defenses in football. I mean, everything you said, they held Matthew Stafford to all that. Sure, Matthew did have his moments in those touchdown drives, and that is why, I mean, he still maintains himself in that MVP conversation. But I mean, Seattle did their thing for the most part, so I can't drop them too much. I have to give my respect despite the hate. Into the fourth spot, dropping two spots. This is your one, originally your one team. I got the Lions in here, and last week was your one team. We'll see how much that changed, but that loss, I mean, defensively, can't say much about it. That defense played great. It all came down to a pretty BS the PI call to end the game, but it's the offense that's the issue. It's the offense that makes me think it wouldn't even have mattered if they didn't call that PI call and the Lions got it back. Goff didn't look good. Receivers were MIA. I mean, sure, Gibbs looked decent in the receiving game, but didn't really do nothing on the run game at the end of the day. So, I mean, I need to see more from Detroit. I mean, this is probably their worst performance since week one. So, I mean, to see what happens when you face a top defense. They still got the Rams later in the season, so we'll see how they can bounce back from this.
For my fourth spot, I got the Lions too.
Damn,
So
dropping
I
them
dropped them. I
three.
dropped them four spots, and like I said, with the things too, with the whole offense and the coaching decisions from Dan Campbell, big story was the fourth downs for going for it on
That
fourth downs, not
yeah,
being able to convert them. That's exactly like I've been saying this before. I love Dan Campbell. I love how ballsy he is.
live
Right,
by the
he
fourth down,
wants
die by the fourth down.
they live by the fourth down. You die by the fourth down. We saw this example before too in 2023 against my Cowboys. Another thing going against these top teams, right? The ballsy fourth down is going for the two and then not getting it right. I love his mentality. I love it. That's what the whole team loves Dan Campbell. But when you mess up like at least more than once or twice, when you mess up more than twice, that's gonna be an example, especially against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, and you know the type of offense they have. Once they get rolling, it could be slow, but once they get rolling, it's gonna be very hard to stop them, and that's exactly what we say there too. Sure, the whole controversy with that BS PI call, right? Yes, I'm 100% agreeing. It shouldn't have been a PI call. It would have given the Lions an opportunity to possibly score, but by the way they played that whole game, you really can't excuse them on the offensive side. It was unfortunate I had to drop them that much, but these type of decisions is what's going to kill the Lions, come playoff time, right? But still got a big, really huge faith in the offense. They just got to clean up those little mistakes. Now, moving on to three spot, this is where I have the Eagles as well. Like I said, it could be slow, but once those Eagles get clicking, and I hate to say it, they're very dangerous. Saquon, once he's going, it's good. It's good. Even with AJ Brown, with all the controversy going with him, they're still finding a way to make it work. And that defense has been having a lot of improvement, right? But compared to my other two teams, that's gonna be another huge test for the Eagles as well.
Yeah. At the three spot, I also got the Eagles. I got a feeling we got a very similar
Yeah, I think
top
so.
four looking into
Yeah.
actually, yeah, we have a pretty much identical top
No, we
four.
are. We are. No, I'm telling you right
Okay.
now,
All
we
right.
do. We
All
do.
right. We have an identical top
We
four. So
do.
we'll
We
get into
do.
that right
I
now. And
already know, man.
actually if
I'm
you
reading your
want
mind. Let's just
we'll
rapid fire. Go for it. Rapid fire right now.
oh no, I just want to give you my piece on Philly
Oh,
first. I
okay.
mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
my specific thing with them is like, I mean, I moved them up two spots just specifically because of the win against Detroit, and you have to give them that. I mean, there's no way you put them below. I still think
Mhm.
in the end, I mean, when it comes down to it, they're gonna stumble because of that offense. But it's offensively what's holding them back. They could be even higher. That defense is insane right now. I mean, it's only the Rams and Seahawks that really, and I guess. Denver, if you really think about it, that really rivaled the play that Philly and Vic Fangio has been playing right now. The addition of Jalen Phillips, I mean, say what you want about that injury prone, but what we said on that trade deadline recap, if he's on the field, he's going to be a difference maker, and we're seeing it play out. So
And
I
that's
mean,
the
yeah,
one thing I was really glad about Jalen Phillips. You know, with his time in Miami, I don't care. I'm gonna keep glazing him. His time in
yeah,
Miami, I really enjoyed
absolutely,
watching him. And when he got that first injury, I believe our freshman
dude.
year of college, that low
I
key
remember
killed me,
that,
man,
dude. I
because
remember that vividly. It
he
was
was
Black Friday football, the
balling.
debut against the
Yeah,
Jets.
he
That was
was
heartbreaking.
balling. He was balling, and the last year injured again, right? I believe he was also injured again last season. And I said,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm. It's unfortunate that it's with Philly, but I'm still, football aside. Well, obviously, still football, but like more of the injury side
No,
with
yeah,
that stuff.
rivalry
I
aside, I
really,
mean, he was a
yeah,
baller.
he's been balling in that
Yeah.
in the his first game as an Eagle. He balled out on defense, and it was really nice to
Back
see.
to
That was a
back
very
games.
huge
That's
difference
the
maker.
thing too.
Back to back games, he was a
To
huge
win
difference
the game
maker.
against Green Bay and
Yeah.
you're a pivotal factor against the Lions. I mean,
It
two
might have been
teams
a boring, it might have been an abysmal game against like the Eagles Green Bay in the Monday Nighter, but the defense,
both of
him on
them.
defense, he was such a huge factor, even last week too. And I'm really excited about that,
And that's
bro, for
something you
Jalen
can get
Phillips.
into too. I mean, yeah, okay. Boring, wasn't exciting, wasn't points
Yeah,
galore,
but to
wasn't
see
like the
him ball out,
Rams
yeah,
Chiefs Monday nighter.
yeah, but he
Defensive
balled
football
out.
is fun too, man.
Exactly, exactly.
And I
Especially
mean,
with the guy coming off injuries like that,
exactly,
you love
man.
to see it. Especially with a guy like Demo, like me. He obviously
Hey,
didn't.
props to him too, man.
He
So happy to see him back on the
Sure,
field.
wasn't he technically he only had one tackle, but it was nice to see him be on the
His first game
field.
back off a
Is it? Yeah, that's what I'm
brutal
saying.
injury. Hey,
It's what I'm saying. It's his first
he's
game
got
back. He's got a
everything
couple
ahead of him,
games,
man.
especially the next 3 game stretch. Maybe I'll even throw that in after this power rank. But let's finish up this power
Of
ranks. We're
course, of
almost
course.
done.
And I mean, let's just throw them out there because we know. Number two, we got the Pats, and number one, my LA Rams. Let's throw in our love for Drake May first at number two.
Drake May.
May. Absolutely.
But
I mean,
we cannot forget the GOAT Evan Neal, the one who started it all.
of course, I mean, go O lineman. I mean, either one of us would trade three first round picks for the guy. But I mean, this Patriots revelation, I mean, I saw it coming. I didn't even see it coming this much though. I remember I expected
I
them.
know for this team.
I had hope. I knew Drake May was going to be good. I just didn't expect this much. I expected a six seed out of these guys, and I mean the performance last week. I mean speaks for itself again. It's against the Jets. I know but it's a short week. It's a divisional game. It's important. Trayvon Henderson finally coming into his own. I mean, can't say enough about that. I mean, everything we've been saying this for a while too. You give Trayvon the rock, you give him a chance to succeed, he's gonna do it. With an O line like this that has been growing into it. Obviously, Will Howard, a tough start to the season, but he's really been growing into it. The other rookie. I mean, this Pats team has just been crazy this year.
Yeah, they really have, and I'm really hoping this isn't like a situation like that one season with the Titans that were the one seed and ended up losing first round. I really hope I
Well,
hope like the
because
deja
that
vu is
Titans team just had too many holes. If we're gonna get into
that's
that,
that's what I'm saying. But I feel like this Patriots team, I'm not gonna say perfect, right? Because like I said, there is
there's
still
holes. There's holes.
minimal holes. Like I'm saying, the receiving core, the inconsistencies with who's gonna be that one guy there, Diggs, Booty, or if it's gonna be Demaro Douglas. One of them's gonna have a good game,
Yeah,
the others are not,
Douglas. Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's gonna be on and off. That's really one of the probably the only holes I would say in the Patriots that's probably gonna screw them come playing in the long run. But other than that, Drake May and this is the story with him. He's working with what he's working for working with, and it's been paying off, right? And that's my two spot for the with the Patriots, and obviously for the one spot, we already know what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, it's my Dallas Cowboys. We are coming back, baby. It is our year this time.
Yeah, of course, man. But I mean, nice to see you showing some respect for the Rams of this one. And look, honestly,
Hey, I
that
mean, I
second
had you
half.
guys win. I had you guys winning the division, so I mean that was already like the respect as it was
Oh no,
already
I just
there.
mean right now in season. I mean, I need to see you putting these guys up top. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, plain and simple, second half offensively just wasn't great.
Damn.
There was, I mean, enough you could say about that I could have put the Pats up, but consider they're only playing the Jets and what happened here. We're playing the other top team in the NFC. But
Yeah.
I mean. That defensive performance, I mean, that blows everything out of the water. Four interceptions and just everything else all around. I mean, even the special teams turning everything out. You see that beautiful punt by Ethan Evans. We talk special teams on this program. One of the greatest punts I've ever seen, putting him at like the
God,
1 millimeter
that
line, bro.
punt that punt basically a call game. That punt call game.
I mean,
Yeah, haven't just been a
I
couple
mean, I
yards.
mean,
Haven't been just a couple yards like on. If that punt was on the 5
yeah.
yard line, the Seahawks probably would have won. Let's be honest here.
If it goes into that, I mean,
But
it
obviously it didn't
depends
happen.
because I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
Darnold didn't have that clutch gene. He didn't. He
hmm
only set up Myers for a 60-yard field goal. So I mean, can't.
61, 61. Get it right, bro.
It was 61.
61.
I don't remember,
It was
dude. Dude,
61.
in the stadium when we were watching that, I swear that was like 65 or something. It looks so much
Yeah.
further from what
I
I
mean,
remembered.
in person it looks farther because you're there. Obviously on the screen you're gonna be like, that isn't like
My
that
God, I can
far.
imagine how it
But
felt the preseason game watching Aubrey
yeah, with
kill
Aubrey,
that.
yeah, dude, it like I'm telling you, when you're in person, it's obviously different
Yeah,
perspective
of
because you're
course.
seeing it in real time, and Jesus Christ, it was pretty long.
Oh
Pause.
yeah. Yeah. There's been a couple pauses in this one, but I mean, yeah, just in general, the Rams have shown that they're the team to beat. I mean, despite a couple hiccups early on in the season, they've solidified themselves right now. Not only, I mean, in these last couple seasons, in the last couple games, full season throughout now, they've really made everything stand out. At first you're only beating up on bad teams. Well, now you got these resume defining wins against the Seahawks and Colts and teams like that. Now you got another big test against the Buccaneers. Now, obviously, that kind of wraps up the power ranking. So we can start getting right back into what we got looking ahead. And this Sunday
The
nighter,
Thursday night. Okay, first, yeah, the Sunday night, sure, buddy.
well, we can cap off with our prediction for all that. I just, you got to segue it nice and, we got our number one team, they're playing Sunday night. I'm gonna be there, so we got to get into it. Aaron Donald bobblehead night, so everything just coming to perfection. But I mean, this game, I don't remember what other games we got going on that are great, but this is arguably gonna be one of the games of the year. Games of the week can be one of the games of the year. You look at the Bucks coming off two losses. I mean,
Let's
they're
go,
hungry,
Baker. Let's go,
dude.
Baker.
They're
Let's go,
hungry.
Baker.
They're
That's
hungry.
what I'm
They're gonna
saying.
come in
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying,
Pause
dude.
again. You see, but I mean, dude, Sean Tucker, that run game that they've been doing, and the Rams have really solidified that run defense. So I'm excited to see that. I mean, not expecting Bucky back in this one, if I'm not mistaken. So again, Sean Tucker gets another opportunity against a stout defense. I mean, can Baker pick apart the secondary? We saw obviously Darnold wasn't able to. Let's see what Baker does because he's got some good history at SoFi.
Yeah, and hey, I think it's already been what 3 years exact since the game-winning drive in with the Rams
Against the
again
Raiders.
against
That was
even
it was in
yeah, it was
December,
just
so it hasn't been
20.
just
Oh, okay,
yet.
then yeah, yeah, it was high. I remember it was
It
2022.
was it was senior
It
year
was
of high
high. We
school,
were
yeah.
senior year high. I remember that. I specifically remember your text like, "Oh my God!" Like you going crazy on that, and it was crazy. And but it was on the Raiders too, which it was a nice
Of
touch as
course,
well
of
there too.
course.
But obviously, the
Dude, it
Bucks
was
are
the
coming in
highlight of our
hungry.
season. We went 5-12 that year.
Yeah, I mean exactly. But obviously, I still don't know who to pick on that. Maybe might lean towards the Bucks. Who knows? Who knows? But it
Go
is going
for
to be
it.
one of the best games on that one. But quickly recap. Just get the Thursday nighter out the way. This is just going to be an ugly game. I mean,
Dude,
Bills Texans.
honestly, you really think about it. Look, I've been
No.
harping so much on this Bills run defense. They've struggled.
hmm
Let's be honest.
Woody
Look at that
Marks
Texans.
legacy game.
Yes, I'm
Woody
serious.
Marks
This
legacy
this
game.
Texans run game is not to be slept on. I mean, Chubb had a solid game. I know it was just against the Titans, but he played solid, bringing that momentum in. And Woody Marks, the season he's had, don't be surprised if the run game establishes itself. I mean, look, no CJ Stroud again. He's been stinking up this team recently. So you
And
get
Davis
Davis
Mills has
Mills.
been, and it's
Dude,
second
there's a
example.
chance
First,
for a
we've
phenomenal
had
game this
we've
week.
had Brissett playing better than Kyler. Now we have Davis Mills playing with CJ. I mean, something's it's been a lot of ironic stuff
Dude,
here, but
I'm not joking. There's a
I don't
legit
know,
chance
man.
we get a nice close game in this one. We've seen the Falcons give the Bills a game. Why not the Texans?
It's gonna be a Woody Marks and James Cook legacy
Um,
off. That's what it's gonna be.
Honestly, and dude, the Texans defense, top defense right
No,
now.
it is still a top defense as well. And we
As
get
of
another
right
team,
now, the
yeah.
number one defense in the
And
NFL.
this is
Dude,
gonna
this is
be
gonna be a game.
crucial. This is gonna be the crucial game for the Bills. If they lose this game, say bye bye to the division. Hopes are gone. Because right now it's
Dude,
already slim to none. This
the
game is
Bills
gonna
lose
be
this
really tough.
game. Texans are right back in that AFC South picture,
Yeah,
too. This is such a
exactly.
pivotal game for either side.
Yeah. So who knows, man? Hopefully, I don't eat my words, but maybe a stinker. Who knows? But a lot of pivotal things for both these teams coming into it. I'm still going with the Bills on this one though.
Oh no, yeah, me too. I mean,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I mean,
I'm still going with the Bills.
I still expect the Bills, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the balls are telling me that the Texans are at least gonna give them a game.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But I think that kind of we got a lot of talking points. It was a lot of NFC
Oh
North,
yeah.
NFC, excuse me, AFC North heavy, but
Or actually,
we
dude, I
bounced off
mean,
a lot.
but you look at, and we have a tiny bit of
The
time. We could
Dallas
throw this
Cowboys,
in,
yes, we're beating the Eagles, we're beating the
dude.
Lions, and
Hey,
we're beating
we
the
saw week
Chiefs.
one. Dude, I'm not even 100% that Philly. I mean, that Philly offense against the
Hmm.
against the Cowboys defense. That's ass on ass. I'm expecting the real game is going to be what the Cowboys offense can do against the Philly defense. That's going to end up being the game.
And we see now, after that one game, Dak's been balling. We see what Pickens is doing. We see what Pickens is literally doing, and like I mentioned, gambling, throwing up, and him having himself a game. That's what I'm gonna look at, and I've said it already in the recap, but this stretch of games, Philly, Lion, no,
Philly, KC,
Philly,
and Detroit.
Chiefs, Philly, KC, and then we go to Detroit. We have two home games, and then go to Detroit. The chances are already slim to none, but I'm
I
telling you,
will say,
if we win these three games, playoff
oh,
is playoff chances
oh,
are there.
I
But
will
it's
say the
it's
one
easier.
thing.
It's easier. No, if
Yes,
they
of
do win these
course.
three games, the chances are going to be better. But it's easier said than done because we're hosting the Eagles again, and we see that, right? But obviously, the offense is different. New pieces on defense. It's going to be a game. The Lions. We saw what happened last year with the Lions, and look at our defense. I still don't trust it 100%. And then a hungry Chiefs team. The Cowboys are notorious for gifting wins to hungry teams. So things next year is gonna determine like whether or not I'm gonna keep going
Yeah,
with
and we
everything.
talk
But
about. I mean, just for one, I mean, just this Cowboys Eagles game is going to tell us so much specifically. I mean,
and it's America's game of the week. It's gonna
I'm
be cinema.
salivating
It
at
is
the
gonna
dude.
be
We've
cinema.
when was the last time we had a good America's game of the week and Sunday Night Football paired up? And it's both of our teams, man. Ain't that phenomenal that we actually get to pair that? 'Cause,
Maybe
sometimes we get some
maybe
stinkers,
this maybe this might be a sign for both of us.
dude.
Hopefully
I
a
mean,
strong
if it
win.
because it's not crazy to say. I mean, I know that obviously Dak came out and really solidified that offense to be a power in week one. But let's also remember Philly's defense has slowly marinated, and right now they're looking better. But Dallas is
Mhm.
marinated too, so it's going to be a clash of powers
It
for those
is.
side. Philly's offense and the Cowboys defense. I mean that leaves more to be desired, but that's going to be a great battle at least for your offense and their defense. But I mean, you also look at you talk about the hungry Chiefs. I mean, you also look at they're playing one of the top teams in the league with the Colts, man. That's the
Yeah.
only other one before we go. You gotta throw that one, and that's another one of those phenomenal games this week.
Yeah, not even that. Again, it's gonna be a lot of pivotal stuff, man. I mean, the Chiefs, they're gonna need to win. They're out of the playoff picture still. They're gonna need to make some runs. And same for the Colts, right? Sure, yeah, it is an even Chiefs team, but the Colts still gotta make some noise against tough. Like the Chiefs, like they're not scary, but they're still considered like a pretty decent matchup, and it's gonna say a lot for the Colts. If they lose this, I don't see any hope for them in the
Well, the
playoffs, to
thing
be
is too
honest.
with the Colts, Jaguars and Texans are slowly creeping up.
Hmm.
If they lose this game against a hungry Chiefs team, that's one of its own things. And then
I'm
if
telling you,
they
a lot
win
of
this
these
game,
divisions, a lot of these, the AFC North,
dude,
the AFC East, because the Bills, and the AFC South, the NFC North too. These divisions are being wide open. The
yeah.
only one I probably would say that well, technically, the West, the NFC West is still open, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the Rams
No,
are
and like,
most
and
likely gonna run away
I'm
with
not gonna
this
say
one.
anything because it still comes down
But
to week 16 for me.
yeah,
Week 16 is
it's
really
still
gonna tell it to you.
open. Yes,
But the
it's still
Rams kind
open.
of really
But I
like
mean, yeah.
took a step. they took that pivotal step
Yeah, and I mean, I
within
said that
last
that
year.
game against the Seahawks was pretty much going to determine who's going to get the division or not. But that tiebreaker, it's you guys still the tiebreaker. The Seahawks still have the opportunity for that, right? And I believe the Seahawks. I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but I believe they do have a better conference record, if I'm not
I'd have to
mistaken.
look at that too. But at the
I
end of it,
could
that's
just
it's
check that
gonna
right now,
come
to be
down
honest.
to.
Yeah,
I mean,
but hey, we got a
it
lot of
could come down to
football, a
that if
lot
they
of
win
pivotal
at home.
stuff, a lot of great games. Thank God, right? But the one thing's just.
It's
I've dealt with so much disappointment. Like this, I need something where I can
the
finally
Rams
rest.
do have the Rams are 3-2, Seahawks are 4-3, so it's pretty close. So
So
you can't
yeah,
even factor
yeah,
that in just
one
yet.
game. So just one game. Seahawks are one game above in the conference there. So it's still neck to neck. It's still neck to neck regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's both a one game difference, but yeah, regardless, that
hmm
doesn't matter. But I mean, like you said, I mean, like we've been saying, I mean, again, it's a pivotal week, especially. I mean, we're in November, and it's already getting dicey for so many of these teams. I mean,
And
to think the Chiefs
we
are
know,
500
we
in
know,
November,
we know how much I love December football, baby. So let's get
it ain't
it.
just you. It's this channel in general. That this
We
is when
love
it gets good.
December.
Once the clock turns into the final month of the year, forget Christmas. It's December football that really gets us going, and can't wait to get it going. But next time we bean talk, I think it will be December, so we'll really get into that. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for tuning in. If you're tuning in late on Titan Radio, be sure to find this on YouTube. YouTube crowd, once you see this, again, apologies for this little late setup that we got put together. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to get this video out. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to tune in as we recap all these games in the Week 12 recap.